These channels are particular to the group of people that are here, of course the people that will listen, but it's the energy of the group, in my experience, that sets the stage for these channels and for this information, because you're ready for it. So take another breath and let yourself just feel that openness and feel that surrender to what is. Feel that whatever it is in that beautiful, unconditional, loving compassion that always comes through Kryon.
Greetings, dear women. I am Kryon of Magnetic Service. My partner steps away. He is not aware of what is being said. It's an honoring of your gender. There are no secrets. I want to make this a family channel. And what I mean by that is what I meant during the last channel, in this very room. There's a camaraderie here. And I want this to be messages of love. Not necessarily informational as they often are. If you looked at the gender shifts and changes, and what one gender is afraid of as opposed to another, you're different. How you would react to change is different. And it's different for the reasons of your gender. This is an extension of the last channel. And that was all about your reaction and your consciousness about shift. You might say that one gender takes shift harder than the other. And you'd be right. Now, when we speak to a general audience of both genders, we speak about a generalization of gender, but not here. For you all have this in common, that you come into this place and you sit here as women. But also, the other thing you have in common is what we have discussed before. We say it again. What are the odds that you would come into this life enjoying this gender today and also have had it in Lemuria, where you might have participated in these beginning years and the very beginning of an enlightened humanity who knows the difference between light and dark? That's the creation story that you participated in. And that is when the women carried the torch. And that torch was of what you would call shamanship today. Back then, it was simply normal leadership of women. You had that tool that connected you first with spirit. And that's what I want to speak of. That particular tool that we would call enhanced awareness or intuition is actually biologically true. The brains of a female are differently constructed than that of the male. And that is basically for child rearing, so that you would be more aware. The lobes of your brain are connected in the back, and the men are not. What happens is that you have heightened intuition, and that heightened intuition makes you more aware of taking care of your children. But the offshoot of that, it also plugs in an awareness to the creative source. Do I have to tell you, ladies, that women wake up faster than men when it comes to spiritual things? All spiritual meetings all over the planet are filled with women. and the men if they want to. And so it is no shock or surprise that I would say to you, you are connected early to that which is the creative source. And that alone may give you the proof of what we have said all along, that the role of the women in the early days were to connect for the men. And so you would be the ones that would get the messages. You'd have the ones that would feel the potentials. What you did for your children, you also did for the tribe, for the civilization. You connected and you helped guide them into safe harbors. This is what you did. Change is difficult for women. And the biggest difficulty is the residual that you carry. Change appears to you many times not as change, but as difficulty. Your Akash does not rate difficulty as hard, medium, and easy. Instead, the difficulty is there and it presents itself, whether it is change or anything else. What do you think of first? What is the most present thing on your mind as a woman, as we are? And I'll tell you, it's the children you've lost. There is no greater sorrow on the planet than the mother who loses the child. It never goes away. It's etched into your Akash forever. In the way that you are afraid of change. The biggest thing that happens when you lose the child is that feeling immediately that everything is upside down, and that's change. And that carries over almost to any change. It's a fear that comes in its own way and lives with your gender every single time you're here. In an older time, you know that losing children, even at birth, was so common. You might have a rated survival rate that is unbelievable compared to today. And then there was the hardship on humanity in general, where you would lose your children through natural sources and diseases. That sticks with you. But that's for all women. It's one of the differences between men and women when you face difficulty, surprise, and change. The other residual that comes with you is the one of having your shamanic activities exposed and you're punished. Now, that carries with you in such a strong way because today you're living the results of it. There aren't many women asked to lead that which is the civilization you call humanity. And you're still living the issue. And so when there is change, you see this as well. It's a double whammy, as some would say. The residuals you carry in your gender are so strong compared to the men that you are going to find it much, much harder to make this shift comfortable. And some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have a tendency to run your own tapes at night when you sleep. And what I mean by that is that far, far into your Akash are the bells of warning. And when you see major shift, all you can do is run from it. What the good news is here is once again that Spirit knows this. And there has been a lot of extra energy put here at this time to help settle the feminine heart. It's almost like the arms of God are around you in a way that only you would feel and know with this wonderful, intuitive connection you have with Spirit. Let me tell you, when God loves humanity, women feel it first. And that's the beauty of this shift and this change. If you will let Spirit hold you, we will. And it will be for the rest of your life. It's more for women than for men. You've got the connection. You've got it so strongly that you're the one who awakens to all of this first. So doesn't it make sense that there would be some tools for your gender which would be just so much greater than you'd expect? I want you to feel it tonight during the ceremonies, during the music. I want you to feel the specialness of the love of God in this time. And know this change is for you. The whole prophecies of the ages is that the feminine energy on this planet, let's call it the mother energy, is going to increase and be felt. And it's one of the things that will cause peace on earth. The compassion of the love a mother has for its child will be the same compassion that humans have for humans. Be hugged this day. And so it is.